Hey, welcome back to Max Nave Horsemanship again today. I was going to do a little bit of a demo for you today, but unfortunately it's a tad windy out today, and the area that I would want to work in, well, I'd probably get too much wind noise and it'd mess with the audio, so I wouldn't be able to explain what I'm doing, but I think I can actually explain it well enough anyhow. But I know a lot of you like to see the horses, and well, you want to see me do something with horses, and well, I can't really do a demo today, but I'm going to let you take a good look at the horses for a minute here before we get started. I'll let you take a look at them, and then I'm going to talk about the subject for the day. Well, you're not going to get to see a whole lot of action here because, well, they're all busy eating right now, so we can't really show you a lot, but you know, you get to see them. And you know, just to elaborate more on you know, what I was talking about before, how you can have mares and geldings together. It's not a big deal. And you'll get to see a few more down over there, and that gray closest to you, that's mine. And she was the one I was going to do a demo with today. But like I said, a little on the windy side, and which is actually not uncommon around here, but I don't know. I guess I got to get a better wind filter for my mic so we can do this stuff better outside, because there's only so much we can do, and well, you need to know. Okay, so today we're going to talk about making do with what you got. And I've talked about this in different ways many times throughout my videos, and you know, how you got to be flexible and improvise and get creative, and well, make and do with what you got, because let's face it, we don't all have perfect facilities. In fact, most of you don't, and that's why I rarely ever do a video in the round pen showing how to use a round pen, because of the simple fact that most of you don't have one. In fact, most of you probably don't even have access to one. Right now here, there isn't one. I don't really care. I've said before, there's actually very few essentials that you need, and the only two essentials, in my opinion, is a decent rope halter and a lead. That's it. That's all you absolutely have to have. And well, I like using a flag. I don't use it a lot, but it's one of those things that, because I work with a number of horses, it comes in handy from time to time. But if you don't have one, as handy as those things are, don't run out and buy one, especially if you only got one horse, because they're like anywhere from $30 to $50. And for one horse, that's a lot of money to spend. Not a wise investment. It's going to collect dust for a long time. You can make something, you can improvise. I did a video on that a while back, a couple of years ago. I did a video on how to make a do-it-yourself flag. How you can make one out of what's laying around, and that one cost all of about 50 cents to make. And things like that. In my last video, I showed you how to, I had my horse jumping, and what did I have her jumping over? Was it jumps? No, it was an old tree branch that had fallen down. And well, I like doing slalom and that sort of thing, so I was going to have her zigzagging around trees for you today, but can't do that. But that's what we got. We got trees. We got obstacles, objects, and I've talked to you many times about, you know, getting creative and using what you got. You know, you don't have to have all the best facilities in the world to be able to work with your horse. Like I said, lead, rope, and halter. If you got those two things, you can do an awful lot with your horse. It's got more to do with your interaction with the horse and how clear you are with the horse and things like that. And after that, it's just take a look around you, see what you got, and figure out what you can do with it. And you'll be kind of surprised at how little you really need, because that's been kind of one of my goals from the very beginning. Years ago, I saw somebody else doing some pretty impressive stuff, and I thought they just verified something that I had always thought was, you don't need a lot. And they were doing some pretty cool stuff with very, very little. In fact, no bridle, no saddle, no nothing on the horse. And they were doing some extraordinary stuff. And just, you know, verified that my train of thought was right, that no, you don't need a whole lot. And I did a demo a while back. I can't remember how long ago it was now, maybe a couple years ago, where I had my horses doing all sorts of stuff with nothing but my bare hands. And that was just to verify to you that you don't need to go out and buy every gimmick and thing that they, like your fancy training sticks and flags and all that stuff. Personally, I've come to really like the flag and its effectiveness and the way it can be used, but it doesn't need to be used a whole lot. And, well, it's not too often you see me with one. Well, not too often you see me use it. I frequently would carry it with me, but that's just in case. It's part of being prepared. But like I said, get creative. Don't let your facilities or what you have stop you. Get creative, improvise. Make do with what you got. If it's just an old cardboard box or a tree branch or whatever happens to be laying around, you can use those things to your advantage. And you'd be surprised how much stuff you actually can use, even a sturdy fence or a wall. There's a lot of things that can actually be effective training tools. You don't have to have fancy facilities, and that's one of the reasons I don't like to demonstrate that stuff too much, is because of the simple fact that not everybody has that stuff. A mounting block, well, I think only once I've ever used an actual mounting block. The rest of the time it was a stool or, a stack of pallets or whatever happened to be sitting around that was handy. I've also used trailer fenders, tailgates, fence rails, all sorts of stuff. It's all about getting creative and using what you got. You don't need all the fancy stuff. You don't need to go broke working with your horse or trying to teach it things. You can use what you got at home. Have a good day.